Welcome to the first part of modeling a Venus flytrap in Plasticity series, so let's get ready to surface! Okay, before starting with the modeling, or rather with the drawing of the construction lines, I would like, of course, as always, first have a look at our reference drawing. They are rough sketches. This is the sketch for our final product. It will be a movie poster with all the models we have created so far in the near future. Not for now. I would just like to show you Venus trap, and we will do something like this. These are artistic approaches. You can do your own style, or you can have a look at Google. When you type in Venus flytrap and cartoon, you have different concepts. For example, I like this one, the leaves of this one especially. Overall, the organic look. And here, much simpler, but this looks also cool. I like these overlapping teeth. As you can see, there are tons of cool concepts you can draw in your own style. The link to this one will be in the description. What's important for me is how we can start something like this. So we can be attempted to start with the body, with this part, or with the stem, or with the teeth, but I will start with the lips in this case. The lips will be our guide. And what I mean by lips is this thing. And I won't do it exactly as here. I will let Plasticity do its job. And let's see how the construction lines of these lips will look. So let's start right away. Delete this one. And let's go to front view. If you follow my videos, you should know by now that I am always using these radial menus. The links to them are in the description. This is the one I have coded. You can download it also. So let's go to front view, create a circle, a center circle from the origin of the scene, RZ. And I will show you in a minute why I have started with the center circle, or why I am doing what I am doing right now. This part of the circle, this one, will be this part. But like I said, I won't do it exactly as here in the reference drawing. I will do rather something like this, a half circle. And this half circle will lead the rest of the construction lines. So let's see. Mirror this one, Alt X, go to front view and create a simple line from the origin, a horizontal line. And bring this guy, or leave it as it is. We don't need this circle, sorry for that. We just need the circle and this line, and we will cut the circle. Let's go to right view, cut the circle with another line. So let's make something like this. And like I said, most of the stuff I'm doing right now are coincidences. I don't know the exact shape, how it will look. So let's just let Plasticity do its job. That's what I meant by that. Let's see if we can achieve to create cool shapes. So Shift C for cutting the curve. Select this one, our target body, then the cutter. Press OK. Get rid of these two. Again, right view. Create again a line somewhere here, and it can touch with the curve. We can run the trimming command. So let's press T and select these guys. Now I will show you what I am doing here, why I am doing these things. Bring this guy further back. We go to control point mode and select these two control points. Press F and search for bridge vertex. We have bridge vertex. Yeah, I haven't applied a shortcut to this one yet. I should do it. But for now, let's just press bridge vertex. And here we have a G2 continuity. Let's see what the other continuities give us. The more control points, the more square-like this part will look, the front part of the lips. That's not what I want. I would rather go with G1. Here is a much smoother transition. Or we can even try to make only one side, G2, G3 on this side. I will leave it at G1 for both sides, for both ends. And let's do the same for the bottom part. And therefore we can take this line, bring it down. And by now I think that you can see where our journey is going. The position of this line will determine if the lower lip will be on the same height as this one, as the upper lip, or if we should do something like this, for example, and run our bridge vertex command after going to the control point mode, selecting both F bridge vertex. Again, let's see which continuities look cool. Don't select G0, don't go with G0 because this will make a harsh transition. That's not what we want. So at least G1 continuity. And here, maybe G2. Okay, I will leave it like so. Now we can delete this guy, go to front view, and that's what we have so far. If we take all three curves and join them and mirror, Alt X, merge halves together, select it. Doesn't merge, but we can press J after selecting both curves and we have something like this. And the next part is creating center circles around this curve randomly. The only center circles which should be placed correctly are the ones in the middle. So here is the first center circle. As you can see, the main curve, the main construction line runs through the center circle, through the center of the center circle. So let's create another center circle, let's say here, first at the snapping points, and then we can randomly place some more. So here, create a center circle here, and again, maybe here. That looks cool. Let's keep on creating center circles. These ones I have created so far are similar. They have the same scale. Here, mid curve. And the ones I will add between, they will be slightly smaller so that there will be cool transitions. Like here, these waves. Let's keep on creating some center circles. Always at the snapping points. They don't have to be at the snapping points, but that's just how I go about it. That's not necessary. And here the end curve. And let's also put some smaller circles between, also randomly. The snapping of the objects should be, of course, enabled. Otherwise, you can't snap anything. But it's enabled by default. Shift C, I don't know why I don't use these shortcuts. I have to change the shortcuts here because it collides with the cutting curve command. That's why I always go back here and select this one manually instead of using a shortcut. That's what we have so far. And now comes the fun part. We will loft all these guys. Let's mirror all the circles we have done so far. Not all the circles, not these two. Only these ones. Alt X, okay. Let's create some variations. Here, for example, this one can be bigger. Just that both sides aren't that symmetrical. But that's just personal taste. That's why I won't play that much any longer with these circles. I will start with the lofting right away. So therefore, let's select all these guys in the correct order. And let's press L for loft. Yeah, that looks okay. Let's press OK. And here's a harsh transition. That's not what we want. So let's go to front view, go to face mode, select this one. This whole thing is all one face. And let's press Ctrl R for adding a cut, but not in this direction. Let's change the direction by pressing Tab. And somewhere here should be fine. Let's Go to face mode again, select this face and Shift X and delete it. And bring back the circle in the middle. And now we can try our loft with these three, so with these two edges and the circle. So let's select this edge, then Shift select this one, and Shift Alt select. So for making a loop, select Shift Alt, select this edge. And if we press L for loft, we get something like this. Here in this case, we have control over this part. So if we take this circle and bring it further up, so it's not in the center of this construction line anymore, but that's okay. We don't need the construction line, by the way. We have used it for making all these circles. But don't delete the construction line. We will use it later on for something else. Alt select this one, Alt, then Shift select this one, then Alt Shift select this one, press L. That's what we get, and you can also here play with the continuity. I will leave it again at G1. Press OK. If we go to solid mode and select both sheets and join, you see that we have our first solid. Hide the curves. Right click on this thing, hide the edges. We have something like this, and that looks cool. I think this can be our starting point. Before continuing with the head, we have to make some housekeeping, and if you followed my tutorials, you know that I love to make this housekeeping thing, but it is necessary. So we have to organize all this stuff so that it doesn't get in our way while creating new curves and new constructions. So therefore, let's bring back all the curves. Select all of them by selecting the first one, Shift select the last one, and press Ctrl G. And let's call this group construction lines. And now we can deactivate it, and it doesn't get in our way any longer. Here's one curve I would like to get back here. And if we go ahead and right click on this and say move selected items to root, we are bringing this curve out of the construction lines group. So we can deactivate the construction lines group and keep on working with this one. And by the way, I have also deactivated the solid we have just created, so it doesn't get in our way and we can keep on constructing stuff. So let's have a look. These were the lips, and the next step is this head. Yeah, we can call it head, I guess. So therefore I will go with green. This part, that's what we will surface now. And again, we won't stick to this shape of the drawing. Let's have a look from the side view. That's what we will surface. So therefore, let's go to the front view. Let's start with the lines right away. This time I will create again a line from the middle, somewhere here, below this point. Something like this. Bring this line further back. Let's look from the top. Yeah, something like this maybe. Let's look from the front. Let's take this guy, Shift D, V. And if you press Ctrl, this one snaps to this curve. Again, G, again press V. Now we can drag along the Z-axis. And again, press Ctrl, so it snaps to this curve. And we still don't have it at the correct spot, but that's okay. Let's try something like this. Again, G, B. Bring this again to the end, and let's just drag it freestyle, but press Ctrl, and let's snap it to this curve. And if we go to control point mode, this should be green. But if we want these two curves to be on the same height, we can change this one. So G, Y, press Ctrl for snapping this curve or this line to this line. Now they are at the same height. Let's hide the main curve. Go to control point, select both control points and press F bridge vertex, press OK. Select both of them, delete them, we don't need them, and bring back the main curve. We can keep on constructing, creating the first line here by pressing Shift A. So the first point is here at the end of this construction line. Drag it along the y-axis. That's okay. And the second construction line we can create at the middle of the upper lip. So press Shift A again along the y-axis. Again, let's take these two, isolate them by pressing Shift H, go to control point mode, select both control points, run again the bridge vertex command, but G1 is okay for both ends, Alt H for bring back the rest. And if we delete both of them, we have something like this, and this is the part we will surface. But before doing so, we have to do two things. The first one is cutting this curve with these two. So select this one, Shift C. So this is already our target body. Then select the cutters, this one, and Shift select this one. Now we have separated this part from this one, but let's join these two, pressing J. One more thing. Before starting with the surfacing, go to edge mode, select this one and press E because we want to surface this part with the sheet, not with the curve. Drag this one along the x-axis. So we have a sheet here. Go to edge mode, hide this curve so it doesn't get in our way. And now we can try our surfacing. So let's select all three. So these two curves and the edge of this sheet and simply Shift J. That's what we get. Press G1, that's what we wanted. Can even try G2. That looks even better. And I will go with G2. Bring back the edges, which we have hidden here. Show edges, and that's what we have. Go to face mode, select this face, Shift X for deleting this one, and in solid mode press Alt X, mirror this one with merge halves together activated. We have a clean surface. And if we bring back the solid, here it's more bumpy, but somehow I like this one also. I like this one more. It looks more like a sports car, but that's okay, because our flytrap is as fast as a sports car when it comes to catching insects. Next step is keep on surfacing the rest of this guy. Therefore, let's hide the solid. And we will do basically the similar operation to the lower part. And then we will connect the lower and the upper part. So the lower surface and the upper surface by creating a surface here in the middle. And the middle one here, the surface here, will also be place where the stem will start. Again, let's go to the front view, create a line from the middle, so somewhere here along the x-axis. Shift D, take this guy, the copy, and place it here, somewhere here. Let's look from the bottom view this time. So this guy is selected, press G, V for changing the pivot. Now we can simply press Ctrl for snapping this one here somewhere along the construction line. And again, if we go to edge mode, select this one, press G, Y, and Ctrl, we can snap it to the same height as this one. And now we can create this curve, this one, for the bottom. Shift H, go to control point mode, select both control points, and F, bridge, vertex. I will go with G1, Alt H. We can delete these two guys. Shift A, create a new line, this time along the y-axis. And here in the middle of the lower lip, the same stuff we have done here for creating this curve. Again, along the y-axis, Go to edge mode, select both edges, Shift H, control point mode, select both control points, bridge vertex. This time I will go with G2, bring back the rest, delete both lines. And that's what we have so far. This transition looks more radical than this one. Now let's cut this curve or divide this segment of the whole construction line, the same thing we have done here. So select the construction line, Shift C, select the first cutter, then the second. Now we have divided this guy. And again, we won't surface using this line, we will rather create a sheet out of this line, pressing E and drag a sheet along the x-axis. And we can hide this one for now. And I don't know what I have told it while making the sheet for this one. The reason for making a sheet is if we mirror it over, we can mirror it with a smooth transition. Here in this case, we have the opportunity to use a edge continuity, which we don't have if we surface right away with a line. Shift select the edge of this sheet and press Patch Hole or Shift J. We have the opportunity to play with the continuity here. That's only because we have a sheet here. We are patching with the edge of a sheet. So we are generating we have the opportunity to create a continuity here. So let's go with G1 or even G2. G2, it breaks, so let's go with G1 right away without playing around. Bring back the edges, go to face mode, select this face and delete it, Shift X. Mirror this one over with merge halves together activated. That's what we have so far. Let's surface this part also, and therefore we have to isolate this curve, this segment of the curve, and we can do so by selecting these edges, pressing Shift D, OK, and we will use these ones as cutters. So select this curve, Shift C, select these cutters, Shift select this one, OK, and now we have this segment separated, and we will do the same for this one, or no, we already have separated it. So what we can do now is taking all these curves, hide them, because we will use the edges of the already created sheets. So let's see what we will get if we take all these two curves plus these sheets, and if we go ahead and press Shift J for patching right away, we get something like this. Let's see if we can get away with G1 continuity. Yeah, and it works. Let's see if we can get away with G2 continuity. I will go with G2 continuity because I like the indent here. If we choose G2, I like this one. It looks more dynamic. If we hide the edges and the curves, we have something like this. If we bring back our solid, the only thing we need to do now is creating a solid out of this sheet. So let's see if we can get away with thickening it right away by pressing F, thicken sheet, dragging this one in, something like this. Press OK, and we were able to convert this one into a solid. So if we hide the lips, you can see that we have a solid here. By having a look at our reference drawings, I noticed that this guy doesn't have any gums. If we look here, for example, this guy, he has lips and gums, and that looks cool. And that's what I want for our model also. So the next step will be creating gums for this guy, and I don't know how we will go about it, but let's try something freestyle, and I haven't tried it before off the record, so let's see what we will get. And one strategy is taking this one, so the head, making a copy of this one, pressing Shift D, okay, hide the head, so we have the copy, or vice versa. Go to top view, and let's draw a curve which will determine the borders of the gum. Let's take a center circle. I think a center circle will do the job. Press GZ, bring this one up. Let's look from the top view. And this shape will determine the inner part of the gum. Let's make something like this, GY. Yeah, let's make something like this, and let's cut this. So take this one, press C. This one as the cutter, press OK. Go to solid mode, delete this one. And let's do a similar cut with the, again from the top view, with the wider curve. So I will make the outer one different. I will rather first create a line somewhere here. Okay. And a second line somewhere about here. Take both lines and see if they are on the same level. That's not important. Let's isolate them and create a connection between them. Again, by bridge vertex them. G1 continuity will hopefully do the job. Bring back the rest. And if we select all three of them, and now we can see what we have done. Alt X. Join them. Select the solid. C. Press C for cut. And now select the cutter. Go to the outer part, which we don't need any longer. Okay, now let's take this sheet and press F, thicken sheet again, and see what we get. We do something like this, but this time real fat, so the gums are visible. Let's see how it looks, if it intersects too much with the lips and whatnot. Let's keep on doing our experiments by going to edge mode. Select this whole loop by pressing Alt. Let's press BD. So we are filleting right away without going into the negative. And we will do the same for the inner edge for this one. Select both. Select the whole edge loop. BD again. But make sure that there aren't any overlappings. Something like this. That's what we have so far. The next step, we will merge the gum with the head. So let's hide the lip. Let's hide also the curves so they don't get in our way. And if we go ahead and select both solids, just press Q, then we have a successful union boolean. So this is one part now. And if we select this edge now, this one, by pressing Alt, so the whole edge loop, go to B and D. Okay, we weren't successful because of this. That's too narrow, so I have to think about another way. So let's fillet the inner part, BD. And the inner part doesn't give us any errors. If we hide this, we have something like this. And if we bring back the lips, all looks cool except this part. I don't want this harsh transition. Okay, we want to fillet the outer edge, so this part, but we cannot fillet right away because here is a different distance than here. Here the distance is much wider and here it's narrow. I cannot make large fillets. I have to make manual filleting if you want to really have large fillets here. But that's not worth the detail because it is only a tiny detail. That's why I will make only a small fillet, which will do the job. So let's press B, D for filleting right away. So something like 2.2 will do the job. So if we hide the edges, we have something like this going on, and somehow I like this relatively harsh transition more than a super round one because you can see a better difference between the gum and the body. So if we bring back the rest, we have something like this going on. That looks cool. And this part will also be the one where we will place place his teeth. And the teeth will be the next step.